Welcome back to the Grand Exchange kitchen, where instead of food, we're cooking profits. I'm Chef BSP today, and I'm showing you how I flipped my way from Antidote to Ring of Stone in just 1 week, turning crumbs to a feast at GP. Before we get started here, I just want to let you guys know that I am making trades every 8 hours or so. So I'm not making trades instantly. I'm not buying something and then sitting there for 30 minutes and then selling it back in that 30-minute period. I'm waiting every 8 hours, checking the GE, and this is the start of my series here. So I'm gonna be doing these weekly, trying to upload every week with my my newest trades that I did throughout the week. And I pay a monthly subscription to a plugin called Flipping Copilot. So I'm paying, so you guys don't have to. You guys can cook as much as you want off of every good product that I'm getting. All right, before we get into the full trade lists here, let's start with the main course, the tastiest flips of the week. We have number one here at Super Combat Potion Sip 1. We got a profit of 1 million GP off of this. Actually, it was a really quick trade. Yeah, we started the trade on August 4th, which is today, and we started at 4:22 p.m. and then ended at 9:51 p.m. So a 5-hour trade for 1 mil without really having to do any work. I bought 959 of them and I sold 884 at the price of 4,146 bought and then 5,413 GP sold. Yep, netting us the profit of 1 million, and I'm sure we sold the rest of the super combat potions as well. Just probably, so we probably didn't make as much. But for number two, we made a trade on July 29th at 4:38 p.m. For the contract of Forfeit Breath. The contracts are an excellent trade. Yeah, we sold them just a day later at around noon. The bot was 84 of them, and the price was 28,669 GP, sold at 41,163, giving us a profit of 553,000 GP after the taxes. Alrighty, chefs, on to our last hooked up item of the week. We have Bandos Behe boots. Only bought 7 of them. I made the trade on July 30th and it's about 11 a.m. Closed out the sell order at around 9 p.m. So much later in the day, but we bought it at 275,570. We sold it at 364,515, giving us a profit of 571,585 GP after taxes. So that is the absolutely hooked list at the beginning of the video here. We're going to dive into some more trades, kind of finish off the list here, and yeah, stick around and make sure to hit that like and give it a follow if you guys want to see any videos in the future. All right, so we're going to be going over the rest of the list here for the last week, starting with the Mystic hat. I bought 250 of them at 15,504 GP, sold each one of them at 17,910, giving us a profit of also 512,240 GP after the taxes. So that was an excellent flip, and it only took us about 1 day or so. Yeah, it took about 1 day. For the next one, we have the armadyl Behe body. We bought 16 of them at 99,209 GP, sold all of them at 121,975, giving us 325,344. So we're still cooking at this point. We're still hot. The kitchen's still good. The very next one, which actually is one of my favorites so far out of all the trades, is the party hat and specs. We bought only 4 of them, and we sold all 4 of them. We bought them at 803,778. Sold each one of them at 895,070 GP, giving us 293,564 GP. What an excellent trade. Very goofy. People love cosmetics. The very next one is it took a couple days for this trade, but we did the Shattered Cannon Ornament Kit. We bought 5 of them. We sold all 5 of them, but we bought them at 454,148 GP. We sold each one of them at 521,442 GP, giving us 284,330 GP. The very next on the list here, it didn't take very long to flip these, but we did the Hueycoatl hide chaps. We bought 8 of them, and then we bought them at 212, 676 GP. We sold them at 253,080 GP, giving us 282,744. Here is a very common flip for what we have next. It happened pretty quickly, only took me about 30 minutes or so, but we sold ancient chaps. We bought 16 of them. We sold all of them. We bought them at 161,144 as the buy price. The sell price was 187,776, giving us a sweet 274,524 GP. What a win. Honestly, a continual win throughout this week. Ancient chaps have been a very good sell. Another one that has been taking a little bit of time has been the Tome of Water Empty. That one, we bought 8 of them, and we bought them at 325,620. We sold them at 366,327, giving us profit of 267,048 GP. I really don't know why these are flipping, but it's in my suggested, so I went ahead and tried it. So I did a risky trade here. I wasn't sure about how this one would go, really and truly, because I always feel iffy about flipping unfinished potions. But the new Huasca potion, that one I bought 1,329 of them at 8,309 GP each, and then sold them at 9,297 GP each, giving me a total of 219,219. It's kind of funny they repeated there. But yeah, the unfinished potions I just don't have a lot of luck with, so I really try to like shy away from them. And on to the next one. Actually, weirdly enough, I've seen this flip a lot. We had mind shields being sold and bought. We bought 18 of them. We sold all of them. We bought them at 31,464 and then sold them at 44,232, giving us a sweet profit of 213,914. What I've seen as a common flip lately, which I don't know why people aren't just making them, but is birdhouses. Birdhouses have been an excellent flip lately. We have Willow Birdhouses, bought 300 of them, bought at 1,067 GP, sold at 1,794 GP, giving us 208,000 GP off of just birdhouses. Absolutely insane. Don't know who's buying these, but thank you. We have Verac's plateskirt. It's actually been a common flip as well. We bought 14 of them at 191,753 and then sold at 210,733 or 722 GP, giving us 206,561 GP. I always think that any of the PvP gear, it tends to be a pretty safe flip. Previously, I've done the DDS, you know, I've done most like PvP items you can think of. Generally, are a excellent flip. Another really common flip, and actually I'm doing at this moment as well, is the Hueycoatl hide coif. I bought 8 of them, sold all of them. I bought them at 253,136 and sold them at, 283,111, giving me a profit of 194,504. Crazy, excellent flip. Very common to do. I would say you could probably run that at most times right about now here in August. Another one was the Echoes Ahrim's Ornament Kit. I bought 8 of them, sold 8 of them, and I bought them at 162,491 GP. Sold them at 190,306 GP, giving me 102,000. Another very safe buy and sell would be the, I don't know how to pronounce this correctly, but I think it's Quetzal feed, the bird feed. I bought 200 of them, sold all of them, but I bought them at 6,513, sold them at 7,578. I've only been seeing those go up recently. That gave us a profit of 182,800. Excellent flip there. On to the next one though. Very common flip for me as well is the Saradomin coif. Yeah, we bought 9 of them, sold all of them. We bought them at 53,469. Nice. Sold them at 74,898, giving us a profit of 179,188. And then a very common flip for me as well here is runes. So most runes can be flipped pretty decently. You change it maybe about 3 to 6 GP per rune, and it normally gets you out on top. But I sold Astral Runes. I bought 35,539 of them, sold all of them. I bought them at 63 GP each and sold them at 69 GP. Again, we got a profit of 177,095 all together. Excellent buy there. Another one we have here is Granite bodies. We bought 49 of them at 50,269 GP. Sold them at 54,983. With a profit of 177,135. We have the Hueycoatl hide body as our next flip. We bought 8 of them at 354,548. Sold them at 383,160 GP each. Most of the like god boots or chaps or coifs tend to be pretty good sells. So we have Bandos. We bought 3 of them at 275,570 GP and sold them at 364,515. The next one is the armadyl hide body. We bought 8 of them at 99,000. Sold them at 101,075, giving us 162K. We have the Hueycoatl hide chaps. Bought 8 of them, sold them all. We bought them at 259,785, and then sold them at 285,487, giving us about 160K in profits here. The next one was the Hueycoatl hide coif. I think actually we did this one for. So we bought 8 of them at 266,553, sold them at 290,723, giving us profit of about 146,000. Another sale that I really thought was going to give me a ton of GP was the Torag's helm. This is an excellent PvP item. You see that pretty commonly. Bought 21 of them at 95,257, sold them at 104,087 GP, giving us 141,000 GP profit. Wonderful. We have the Saradomin coif. We bought 7 of them, sold them all. Bought them at 53,469, sold them at 74,898, giving us 140K out of that flip there. And then like I said earlier, we have the Yew Birdhouses. Don't know who's buying and selling them, but again, thank you. We bought 340 of them at 1,450. We sold them at 1,893 GP and got a profit of 138,000. I would say though that these do take a little while. It took about a day for me to make that trade, the buy and the sell. So, you know, the birdhouses do take a little bit. Then we have the Hueycoatl hide braces. We bought at 110,163. Sold them at 147,314, giving us a profit of about 136K. We are about halfway through the list here. So we have cannonballs as a very common trade. I make this trade day in, day out. Very, very common flip. I bought 22,000 of them at 186 a piece. This one, you can just go down maybe like 5 or 6 GP and then sell them up 5 or 6 GP. So I bought 186 GP and then sold them at a 195 GP, giving me 132,000 GP in the complete trade. Another safe trade, in my opinion, it does take some time, but it's pretty safe, is the Maple Longbow unfinished. So the Maple Longbow Yew, we bought 1,000 of them, sold all of them. We bought them at 91 GP, sold them at 106, giving us 130,000. We did the Yew Birdhouses once again. Actually, we did 340 of them at 1,450, but got away with selling them at 1,893. So it's just a little bit less profit, but we still got 128 out of them, 128K out of it. Another kind of a trade that I thought was somewhat risky here was the Mystic Set Dart. We bought 2 of them, so we bought them at 256,817, sold them at 325,027 GP, giving us a profit of about 123K. Off of just 2 wasn't bad, but it's kind of a riskier trade. We did the Adamant Dart tips as another trade here. We bought 20,000 of them. We sold all of them. We bought them at 176 GP, sold them at 185 GP each, giving us about 120K profit. Another risky trade, and almost I don't suggest it, is gold necklaces. This is a free-to-play item. You can definitely be flipping as well. We have 15,490 bought, and then we sold about half of them, so we probably sold the rest at maybe a lower price. But we bought them at 184 GP and then sold them at 203 GP, giving us a total of 116,000 of the half that we sold. If we sold all of them, we probably could have made around like 232K GP, which would have been a lot better, but like I said, risky trade. We have Spirit Shields, another excellent PvP item that I commonly trade. I bought 8 of them, sold all of them. I bought them at 66,602. I sold them at 82,481, giving me a profit of 113K. We then did the Divine Battle Mage Potion. We bought 76 of them. We sold all of them. We bought them at 22,898. We sold them at 24,880, giving us about 112K profit. We did apples 5, which I'm pretty sure was a basket of apples if I remember correctly. But we bought 1,200 of them, so 1,200. Sold all of them. We bought it. This is a risky trade as well, by the way. We bought them at 334 and sold them at 436. We made a profit of about 112K off of that. And then we did the Mystic Mist Staff, an excellent trade as well. It just isn't very high in profit, but it's a safe bet for most sells. But you can buy 16 of them, sell them all. You can buy them at 98,013 GP, sell them at 107,015 GP. That gave us 109K for our profit here. Another free-to-play item that you can flip would be Lobster. Lobster is an excellent item to flip at all times. I think I will add that to my flips anytime that I see it. So we bought 6,000 of them. We sold them all. We bought them at 135 GP, sold them at 152. That gave us a profit of 102,000. There was no taxes on that. Then we have another buy of the Mystic Set Dark. We bought 4 of them. We sold all 4 of them. We bought them at 289,913 GP, and then we sold them at 320,298, giving us 95,000 in profit. So most likely what I did previously is I probably bought all the sets together, but some of them just did not sell as well as the others, so this is the remaining profit. Another excellent sell, and the price has been absolutely shooting up lately, is Rune Arrows. Rune Arrows are always one of the safest trades you can possibly make. You can buy them at 5 or 6 GP under, sell them about 5 to 6 GP over. I bought 22,000 of them. I bought them at 60 GP, and I sold them at 66. That gave me a 93,000 GP profit out of it. Very common trade. I recommend it every single time. The next one is another birdhouse. We have Mahogany Birdhouses. We bought 250 of them. We sold all of them. We bought them at 1,463 GP. We sold all of them at 1,842, giving us about 85,000 GP in profits. The next one is Willow Birdhouses. We bought 250 of them at 1,067. We sold them at 1,792, giving us about 85,000 in profits. We have the Hueycoatl hide body that we bought at 394,510. We bought 8 of them, and we sold them at 412 at 149 GP as well, giving us 75k in profits. So I would say that the Hueycoatl hide body is somewhat riskier. I find most of the bodies a little bit riskier of trades. I wouldn't fully suggest them. I mostly stick to the Chaps, the coif, and the vambraces. Those are generally what I would suggest. Another riskier trade would be the Tome of Earth. That one doesn't really sell very quickly and very often, so you tend to see having to just lower and lower the price to the price that you bought it, which is very risky. So the Tome of Earth, we bought 8 of them at 261,718. We sold them at 276,015 GP, giving us about 70,000 in profit. Wasn't a huge make off of that one. Another strange trade, which I have never seen before, is the Dragon Bone Necklace. We bought 8 of them. We sold them all. We bought them at 79,262 each, and then we sold them at 88,108, giving us a profit of about 56,000. Not a huge make out of that. Another sell, which I think this is the only risky rune that you can sell or buy and sell. That would be the Wrath Runes. The Wrath Runes are somewhat risky for some reason. I bought about 2,024 of them, sold all of them at 299, but I bought them at 269, so giving us about a 50k profit. Like I said, very risky trade. Don't know if you'll be able to make your money back on that 100% of the time. So I didn't make all profits off of everything. There was, of course, some things that I lost some money on, unfortunately. But it's all part of the trade. You'll see it yourself. It's unfortunately part of the trade. For the most part, you can follow most of these models and kind of sell them. And if you watch through the video entirely, you'll get a kind of a rundown of like what I think is some of the most common trades, what is like safer trades, and then what is the more riskier trades that you can make. Generally though, what I stick by is runes, cannonballs, and then most PvP items. Excellent trade choice. Some of these are quite strange, like the Super Combat Potion being my number 1, giving me a mill. That is a very strange trade, but I think it was just a little like blimp, you know what I mean? Like it's just one kind of one-off action that we might not see in the future. But the very last thing I'll leave you with is that I started this trading thing at just about, I would say, 5 million GP or so. I was not very rich when I started this out. As of the last week, I've made about 15 or so mil, I'm pretty sure, maybe less. But I made some decent money off of this. I lost a ton of money off of running the Coliseum. If you guys aren't watching Behe, you should check them out. They have me in their video of me finally getting my quiver, and I have some videos of my lives going through it. The very last Coliseum one was, of course, the one that I got my quiver. I highly recommend checking that out as well. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for watching my video. Like I said, please like and subscribe again, just so you can get to the next one. I've been Chef BSB. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. I will see you guys on. Have a good night, good morning, whatever time it is.